everybody, Beyond Drew TV here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a quick little inspiration slash tutorial type video where we're going to go ahead and just kind of talk about how we can utilize this new-ish AI space for our building games in like Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, and any other kind of building games that might fall under this realm here. So yeah, in very recent months, the AI space has basically exploded for the public use there. Things such as ChatGPT, Leonardo.ai, there's a whole bunch of them out there. I think the most commonly well-known one is ChatGPT 3.5 now, or 4. But anyways, with all that being said, with all these brand new great tools that we have, I think that we can kind of use these for our Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster builds for some really great inspiration for our builds when we kind of maybe run into some question marks, I don't know what to build next, or I'm just kind of getting hung up on a build, don't know where to really move forward from here. So typically in the past, for me personally, I really like to use real world inspiration. So I would jump to Google Images and kind of type in what I was looking for and go off of that, or look at a lot of model train buildings, because a lot of my builds are like rustic train and industrial builds in these kind of games. So kind of do that, or go on Google Maps, look up real world theme parks or zoos and kind of see what they're all about, see what they're doing, look up city. Anyways, you get the idea. You just look up inspiration from a lot of Google Maps and Google Images. Those are still amazing resources and still use them quite often. But again, with this explosion of technology in the AI space, we can kind of mold our inspirations to exactly what we are looking for as far as ideas go and images go as well, which is pretty amazing. I'm still wrapping my head around this entire space and trying to utilize it, but I thought I'd kind of bestow the little bit of information that I know about this onto you fine folks there. So if we jump over to ChatGPT, this is gonna, you do have to make an account for this. It is a free service to use initially. Actually, I shouldn't say initially. You can use it for free as much as you'd like. However, you are going to be using what's called ChatGPT 3.5. You can see that right here. There's a little drop-down thing. We are at 3.5 at the moment. When you make a free account, this is what you will be able to use. I believe as much as you would like to. However, it does have limitations. You can't make images from text with this one. And there's a whole bunch of other kind of limitations. But that's really the big one for today's video, is that if you do use 3.5, you won't be able to do the text to image technology, basically. So if you want to do that, you do have to pay to use ChatGPT 4, which I do. It is $20 a month, which isn't really that unreasonable for what I use it for. But anyways, yeah, if you do want to just use the free one and are wondering, well, how can I use the free one if I can't see images? We can still use it to kind of generate ideas for a zoo. So let's say you're building for Planet Zoo specifically. Let's say you're building an African themed area, and you want to know, well, what animals can I include in this upcoming African area? And I don't want to use just like your typical, we want our lions and all that kind of stuff that you normally see, but let's say we want to use some more unique animals. So we're going to go ahead and prompt our little GPT thing and just ask away. Okay, so I just went ahead and typed out, I want to build an African section in my zoo in the game Planet Zoo. So very quickly, it's going to spit out a bunch of information. It's actually, if you haven't seen this before, it's really, really impressive how it can just kind of spit out all of this information. And let's go ahead and see what it kind of spit out here. So creating an African section in Planet Zoo is a fantastic idea. And it can be both educational and entertaining. To make your African section unique and diverse, consider including a mix of typical and less common African animals. Here are some suggestions. So we have the lions, African elephants, giraffes, African wild dogs, chimpanzees, okapis, African penguins, meerkats, African pygmy goats, African crested porcupines, African crowned cranes, African rock python, Nile crocodile, African antelope, and the fossa. So I don't believe all of these are in the game. However, that doesn't stop many of us from building either implied habitats and or we go on the workshop. A lot of our amazing creators build these animals with the assets that we already have in game. But yeah, that's just kind of a quick idea of what we can kind of get from the 3.5 GPT. And we can keep kind of going with this. We can say, come up with some restaurants and gift shop ideas for this area. And it'll kind of quickly spit out again it's going to come out with some restaurant ideas. So we have, what was it, the Savannah Grill, the Rainforest Cafe, Safari Snacks, the Desert Oasis Cafe, Elephant Eats, a bunch of gift shop ideas. So you can see that we could keep kind of going with this, and we can keep niching down, as I like to call it. So we started with the general, like, give me an idea for an African area, right? And it gave some animal ideas. And we niched down again. Give me some ideas for the, the restaurants and gift shops. And we can even go into more detail with this. And for the restaurants, say, I like the idea for restaurant number 2. We really like Rainforest Cafe, right? There's a lot of those around. So it's going to recognize that we said restaurant number 2. It's going to recognize that it's Rainforest Cafe. And let's say expand on this idea more. So that's very generalized. It's going to give us a generalized thing, but you can niche that down and say, I want to build a certain way with this Rainforest Cafe kind of thing. And but it's going to go ahead and just kind of explain more here about the restaurant and stuff like that. So that's just kind of a general synopsis of 3.5 and how you can still use it, even though you can't get the images that we're going to be showing off here in just a second. You can still use it to really niche in your zoo, or really build some really cool things with your zoo, or again, theme park, or anything like that. But let's go ahead and switch over to GPT-4. There we go. So it says, how can I help you today? So I already do have a message thread kind of loaded up for this. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Okay, so here is my message thread from last night where I was starting to get this kind of inspiration. So I started this off with, I'm wanting to start a zoo or a new project that's kind of themed around like the Northwoods, Bayou, just kind of that rustic, industrial type vibe. I think that's my niche. That's what I really like to build in, and I'm not going to deny it forever, So I really want to build a zoo like that. I think it'd be really, really fun. So I started last night going off of and asking it to make some HO scale model train buildings. So again, for those of you who don't know, these are also called bar mill builds. If you type in on Google bar mill builds and go to images, you'll see a lot of train model buildings like this. And since the Planet Coaster days, we've been using these type of images and builds for our builds in the game and everything. They show such great detail, and they kind of match up in the Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo scaling and everything like that. But anyways, I asked it just what I said there, make a HO scale model train buildings. I want these buildings to be used in a zoo-themed North Woods and small rail towns. And look at this. Look at what it popped out there. Don't mind the lettering. It doesn't know how to spell that great as of yet. Not sure what the deal is with behind the technology and everything. And every so often you'll get some kind of just wackadoo things. Like we have a bunch of looks like hawks and eagles just kind of smashing into the roof side. So yeah, you will get little hinkadinks, little things like that. But overall, look at this. This is great. If you took a quick glance at this, you wouldn't think that it was, produced by an AI kind of thing. You would think it would be kind of real. So I just told it to keep going. I really liked what it was doing, getting some great inspiration from these. But you can just kind of get the idea here. That, you kind of tell it what you want it to look like as far as, again, I told it HO model train buildings. So it knows to make these look like model train buildings. But, if you wanted to, you could go into it even further and say, I want this to look like concept art for a zoo, enclosure for some specific animal or some specific, enclosure or theme or anything like that. So this is just a quick little idea here. And I'm getting a bunch of different ideas from that. I switched it up. I said it's doing really good, but let's make it look like Red Dead Redemption 2. If you've played that game before, the towns of, I specifically told it the towns of St. Denis, Strawberry Roads, etc. and stuff like that. And look at what it came up with. I love it, love it, love it. So I'm just personally getting a bunch of inspiration from just these few prompts. But like I said, let's, in real time here, let's expand this out and switch gears a little bit, because you can kind of switch gears with it in the middle of one message thread, and it'll understand what you're wanting to do with it. So let's think of something else here to tell it. Okay, so just to totally give it a little wrench in the system in the same thread. So zoo concept art for a Nile crocodile enclosure with a modern theme. Let's see what it comes up with. Alrighty, and not even 30 seconds later, we have, just a quick little modern looking crocodile enclosure. I don't know how well this is going to work with the people just kind of level with the crocodile, but again, you got to kind of take the good with the bad, and you get a good general idea of what you're kind of going for here. And again, I could get a really nice image from this. Oh, I love how the people are on the beach right there too. That's great. The little kid sitting there. Yeah, you get some really funny, unique images with this AI stuff. But again, you can start niching down. You can start kind of taking this one image and start breaking it down and be like, okay, well, let's not have the beach. What if the beach is, you can kind of mold the image how you want it to. Also, it only spit out one image. If we wanted to, we can go back here and edit our original thing and go, let's see, make as many images as you can in one message. It is designated or designed, I think, to make just one image in one thing. But if you kind of tell it to make multiple images, it'll pop out kind of how I was doing here, getting 2, 3, multiple things in one image kind of thing there. So it takes a little bit longer, but you can kind of manipulate the tool there and everything. So, but yeah, that's kind of the general idea of this. Have you used AI to, kind of, it only gave us the one, it's being sassy. How dare it be sassy? But anyways, yeah, you get the idea. But like I was saying, have you used AI to kind of use this for your zoos? Some ideas for your zoos? Your zoos there. But anyways, it's a really good tool to use if you haven't already. There are some free ones out there, like I showed off the ChatGPT 3.5 for some ideas there. Also mentioned Leonardo.ai. Just stumbled upon this one today. It's somewhat free. You get these tokens, it looks like, and they re-up every 9 hours. And then you get 150 tokens, I believe it is. And then, yeah, you can kind of give, same thing that we were doing there. I did concept art of a realistic lion enclosure for a zoo themed to Africa, and it started to spit some things out. Got some really cool ideas from this. I like the little tower idea there. Got some cool enclosure stuff there. There's a lot of different options that I haven't really messed with. Looks like you can really specify down what kind of photos you want to do. I did this photo reel for a little bit, and you get these really amazing looking photos that are set to be super realistic looking and everything like that. So that's pretty great. But yeah, so there's another option, Leonardo.ai. Again, you make a free account, and you get the 150 tokens that re-up every 9 hours. It's about 60 or something like that tokens to make 4 images. So yeah, that's another option for you to do there. So yeah, again, go ahead and check out the AI space if you haven't already on ChatGPT and the Leonardo. Leonardo also has paid things. I think it's like between $10 to $20 a month for different amounts of tokens and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, really cool stuff there. Love to see if you've made anything. We do have a Discord server. Go ahead and drop your images of the concept art and everything that you've gotten from AI. Drop that in our Discord. We'd love to see that. And until the next one, I'm going to go ahead and be using AI to kind of mold the next zoo that I build. As you can see here, get some ideas from that. So definitely be on the lookout for the next project, and having AI kind of mold that and everything like that. So hey, thanks so much everyone for hanging out. Always do appreciate you. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button on your way out. Also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hang out with us in the next few videos of City Skylines, Planet Zoo, and all the other kind of fun stuff that we got going on. So thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate you as always. See you next time.